In less than 3 years, this Etsy store has managed to bring in millions of dollars with a simple print-on-demand product that you've got to see to believe. Today, I'm going to show you how you can make your own version with Printify. Hi, I'm Jess. I've built multiple 6- and 7-figure Etsy stores in various niches, getting sales like these, and learning the ins and outs of Etsy, Amazon, and more. A wild and crazy event led me to start a totally new life traveling abroad, giving me the unique opportunity to step back, work a lot less, and start sharing all of my Etsy insights with you. So hit that subscribe button, grab a pen and paper, and let's jump in.
Hello. Thank you so much for coming back to another Insights by Jess video. This is the long-awaited blanket video, you guys. I'm so excited to film this for you guys. This store has an insane amount of sales, and they're not the only one. There are other stores like this. So I'm going to show you how crazy their sales are. I'm going to show you how to make this product using Printify, because Printify is a superhero in this niche right here. And I'm going to show you a couple cool things that are really making a huge difference in the volume of sales that this store gets. So very simple things that are attracting sales like crazy for this particular seller. All right, let's jump right in here with their Etsy store sales stats right off the bat, because this is crazy. So this particular seller is called the LLC Co. And they have had 108,112 sales. That's crazy. Over 100,000 sales. What is even crazier about that is, if we look at their storefront really quickly here, we can see they have a lot of really cute blankets, some hoodies. Their most popular products, if we look through their feedback, are indeed these blankets. We're going to look at their oldest feedback here. And their first feedback appears September 23rd of 2020. Oh, that's my youngest birthday. Not 2020 though. Super cool. That's a sign of good luck. Okay, so September 23rd, that puts them at just about a 3-year-old store. Just crossed over their 3rd anniversary, which is super exciting. And if we go back up here, their average product price is 28 bucks. Now, you guys know I'm super conservative about these prices and how I figure them out, but basically I go through their listings that are selling the absolute most, and I factor up what it costs for the product and the shipping, and I go with a middle range product just to be conservative. So I gave them 28 bucks. That is on the low side, which we'll find out later on. But with a 108,000 sales quantity, assuming they sold one blanket per each of those sales at $28 on average since September 23rd of 2020, that puts their approximate annual sales at $1,009,000. That puts their total revenue so far, if each of those orders was for $28 all said and done, a $3 million store. $3,027,000 to be exact. That's a fire number, y'all. I don't know if you know what fire life is, but that's a fire number. That's retirement money right there. Okay, so very cool, very exciting. And I'm going to show you their bestseller because it is super cool. It is even more exciting when you see why they are selling so crazy and how they're pulling that off. So this is their bestseller. It is in demand. 69 people bought this in the last 24 hours. That's almost 70 blankets sold in the last 24 hours from this listing alone. They have other listings. If we pop these open very briefly here, this listing here has sold twice in the last 24 hours. This one sold 24 times in the last 24 hours. They're getting 1 order an hour on this Etsy's pick listing here. This listing 2 times in the last 24 hours. This one 14 times in the last 24 hours. So that's just 4, was that 4 or 5 listings that I've showed you guys? They are getting so many orders, it's insane. They have, at this point, got to have a team of people making these designs. But don't worry, guys, they are not buried in their office making designs because these designs don't take very long to make. And we're going to get to the tutorial portion of this in just a second. So they are selling these. We'll look at their biggest listing here in a large variety of colors. They are selling their smallest one here. They have a lovey. It's 11 by 12 inches for $21.71. They are selling their very biggest one for $60, just under $60. We're going to go fairly conservative, not their tiniest one, but their next to smallest size, which is $24.14. And they charge $5.85 to ship within the US. So that $28 average price I gave you is in fact pretty conservative. This is their main image. It's fantastic. We're going to come back to this, but this image shows all the colors you can get in your blanket. Now, the cool thing about this is that these are printed. The blanket is not automatically made by the vendor in these colors. So when we jump over to Printify and I show you how this works, this is literally a color that we add to the design. Super easy, super fast, and it gives the customer so many choices that it really is a powerful selling feature. And just to show you guys how this is printed, I do have this image of a feedback that I captured that shows that it is actually white on one side and color on the other side because that color is done on the Printify end by that print-on-demand manufacturer through Printify. So their next one is giving you different font choices. The sizes we looked at, they're showing you there's two options. You can have a minky, which is like a soft fuzzy, or you can have a Sherpa, which is like more of that like lamb's wool kind of lamb's wool, sheep's wool, like more of the thicker, fuzzier, fluffier type blanket. There's these font details where they just kind of show you a little bit more in depth what the letters are going to look like. They have a few pages of those just to cover all their fonts. And right back to this purple image again, but without the ships 1 to 4 days on here. Now, this is where it gets interesting, and I want to point this out. How this has this little badge here that ships 1 to 4 days, this is a massive, massive selling feature. This little bubble right here is what is getting these 69 people to buy this in the last 24 hours. How do I know that? Well, they have this exact same listing right here. This one is Etsy's pick, whereas this one is just a bestseller. So that's probably going to be an Etsy's pick fairly soon. But their titles are the same. Their SEO are the same. The only difference is that they're using the main image without the little ships 1 to 4 days here. And it has sold 14 times in the last 24 hours. Here, where they've added this little bubble here, this listing is the one that is selling like absolute craziness. This is a powerful selling feature. It is very, very popular. People don't want to wait forever for their product. So what they're saying is that they will get this out to you very quickly. So they've got to generate these designs fairly quick and get them off to Printify fairly quick in order to make that happen. All right, looking at their SEO here, they have pretty decent SEO. They have to, right, to be getting this kind of attention. So they're using a great variety of your standard SEO practices. So they've got commas in here to separate the phrases. They're using repetition very strongly on the most strategic words. So the words we're seeing here a lot are blanket and gift because this is a great new baby gift. This is a great gift for a baby's first birthday or a expecting mother, a baby shower. All of these things are giftable occasions. So this is a definite giftable product. Now, they have a little bit of a variety in here. They're saying personalized custom blanket, baby girl blanket, name blanket, girl blanket gift, baby blanket, kids blanket, personalized gift, and custom gift. So these are all essentially the same 6, 7 words in different layouts with a comma between them. That is to capture all of these different potential searches. So that's something you want to think about when you're putting together your listing, is all the different ways that a buyer might actually search for this product so that you can capture as many searches as possible. And I do have an SEO cheat sheet if you want to grab that from my freebies. I talk about it in almost all of my videos. It's very helpful. And if you want to join the waiting list, I actually have a super in-depth store planning and SEO strategy package coming out. The SEO portion alone comes with a little workbook and a 60+ page strategy guide and companion video. So it's nuts. It's going to be super in detail about how the Etsy algorithm works and all that good stuff. The waiting list link I will put down below for you guys. Now let's look at their description. They have right here in the beginning, it's a pretty decent appeal statement. It's not super exciting. I would like a little bit more of the emotional words, and I talk about a lot of appeal statements in my videos, but they have all of their keywords here. So they have personalized baby blanket, baby girl, baby boy, personalized gift, toddler, kids. All of these powerful words here are right at the top. This is massive. They also have another great feature where you can actually preview to see what your name will look like. Okay, so we've talked about their title, we've talked about their description. I'm trying so hard to do this quickly so we can focus on the tutorial here, but we're going to go over their tags very, very briefly here. So, under 30. This is actually for gifts that cost under $30. So that's super clever. I love that. Then they have baby blanket, custom blanket, name blanket, girl gift, baby shower gift, baby gift, personalized blanket, rainbow pink name. That's a much more unique one. I don't know if they have that in their tags or if it's just a related search that a lot of people are looking for and it's leading to sales for this product, but very clever. I like how they've got something unique there. The rest of these are all plays on those words that we saw right in their title and in their appeal statement. So they are going for a combination of different searches, and it is really paying off well for them. So I'm not going to drag you through too much more of this store, but if you want to go through and check them out, this is the LLC Co., and they are really dominating this niche. So this is a great example for competitor research, you guys. Let's do the tutorial part of this video. This is the fun part. And please keep in mind that there's different ways to create this design, and some people are going to prefer one way or over another way. We're all a little bit different. So I'm going to show you the fastest, simplest way that my little brain has come up with to create this design. And if you find a better way or a way that you prefer, then awesome. Stick with what you like best, okay? The first thing we need to do, however, is find our product. So we're going to jump over to Printify, and I already typed in blanket. We can see that they have a pretty decent selection of blankets here. So if you look at the prices and you look at the different suppliers, you can choose the one that you like best. These two are probably the most popular. This is their best seller. And as we see here, it looks pretty much like that soft blanket that we saw right on their listing. So very, very much the same here. So if we come down here, we can see that there's 2 vendors and Spoke Custom has a better rating. So we're going to go with that one. We're going to click the Start Designing button. And we can see here where we're going to put our design. So the first thing we need to know is how big we should make it. So we're going to come down here where it says print file requirements, and it tells us very clearly how to make it. So we're going to stick with these dimensions right here. And I'm just going to jump over to Canva. So I love Canva. It's free to use Canva. There are premium features that you can pay monthly for. I personally have the premium because I'm on Canva literally every single day doing something, but they have a lot of features for free. So I'm going to come over here and click Create a Design, Custom Size, and I'm going to type in those dimensions, and that gives me the same kind of rectangular shape. Now, this seller offers multiple different colors, so I'm just going to open their color chart up here, and I'm going to look briefly at these colors. We're going to do, how about something similar to that blue chill? So I'm going to turn this entire thing into just like a nice light blue here. Okay, now we're going to add our name. So you can just literally add a name here. I personally type it probably 4 to 5 times. And I'm going to size it at, let's try 100, and pick a nice font that we like. Now I'm going to make it big enough to where it's generously going over both sides. And they have it here, let's see, looking straight. So you can do your design either having it straight, or you can do your design angled like this. It's obviously going to be easier to do it straight. It's much, much faster. But all I'm going to do here is Control Copy, Control C, Control V to paste it. And Canva makes it super easy. They literally tell me when I have it spaced out. So I'm going to select all of these and copy all of these until Canva says, yep, it's spaced properly. Now you probably don't want the names to be perfectly aligned like this. You're going to want them to be a little bit staggered. Here's where it gets a little tricky. So you're going to want to select every other line and then just nudge them over. Super easy. And I'm going to put it so that the J of my name goes right between the two S's, and it's fairly equal. This is super easy. I'm going to make them all white, and I'm going to download this as a high quality PNG. Now that literally took me like 3 minutes. I'm going to come back over to Printify. I'm going to click my device, click the design I just made, and it takes a second to upload here. And it's super, super easy. You don't have to adjust anything because you want the design to go all the way off the edges. And when we preview it, it looks like this. And you can see here that it has printed it on one side, just like that feedback picture that I showed you, and the name is beautifully printed, beautifully staggered. Now, when we go into Printify and we create this product, it will give us a lot of options here for main images and things like that. You don't have to worry about this because you already have your listing created. So if you are selling this, for example, let me back up a second. You're going to want to create your listing. It's going to be completely independent of Printify because these are personalized orders. Then you're going to create your main product in Printify with your first example like this. You can even go ahead and, type in template as the product name if you like. You don't have to worry about anything like pricing or any of that stuff, and then save it as a draft. Now, you have this saved in your product. So anytime you get an order for this, or a new one, so let's say I got this order for Chloe's blanket here in purple. I'm going to come into Printify, I'm going to sign in and go to My Products. And my product that I just made a few minutes ago is right here in my products list. I can just click duplicate, and then on the copy version, I'm going to click Edit Design. Now here I can take off the old design and put on Chloe's design. Give it a minute to upload the file. This is literally the slowest part. And then save the product. Put your title in here and save it as a draft. That's a very important part. You do not want to publish the product. Just save it as a draft. And then you can come up here and click Create Order Manual. Now, it's going to show up here even though it's just a draft. The only reason it's saved as a draft is so that it does not publish to a listing in your Etsy store. So, for example, if you are the LLC Co. and you sell a standard sweatshirt like Papa, you can actually create that sweatshirt here in Printify, and it can be automated so that anytime an order comes through, Printify does all that work of sending, creating, and shipping that order for you, and you don't have to do anything. That is called automated products, where Etsy is literally synced to your store. And you can check out this video up at the top where I talk a little bit more about that aspect of Printify. But for personalized products, you're always going to want to save those as a draft so that they will be in your Printify product list, but not in your Etsy listings in your Etsy store. If that does not make sense, or if I'm a little confusing on any of this, I am a little low on coffee, so please just comment down below and I would be glad to go deeper into detail on how that works for you. But for the sake of Chloe's order here, I'm going to select her blanket, click on shipping, add her customer information in here. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to create a blank pretend address here and click Next, Calculate Shipping. Now, this is where you can choose, do they want standard shipping or priority shipping? If they choose priority shipping on the listing, it will charge them accordingly when they check out. So that's going to depend on the shipping settings that you personally choose when you create your listings. So I'm just going to choose the standard shipping here, and you can see where your total cost is going to end up down here. This is after the shipping and after all the taxes and all that good stuff. So for the smallest blanket, the 30 by 40, it's going to cost me $16.80 to ship this out. So if I actually open up my pricing and profits from my Etsy Seller Success Workbook, this is where I can make sure, using my calculator, that my Etsy pricing is lined up really well. You're going to want to do this before you create your Etsy listings. I'm just doing this as an example for you guys so you can see what kind of profit this particular blanket might make for this seller. So this seller is selling that 30 by 40, or if we go to this listing here where she's selling them like crazy, this 30 by 40 size is $24.14 plus $5.85 for shipping. So we're going to add that in, $24.14 plus $5.85 for shipping. Now she actually has this on sale. So if we want to account for that, we're going to see that she actually has this at $34.49 with a 30% off deal. So I'm going to go back here and put $34.49. Now it gives me that sales price of 30%, makes it $24.14, $5.85 to ship. My selling fees for this are going to be $3.29. Now let's put in our Printify cost here. So it said that it's going to be, we're just going to use the final cost here because we want to include these taxes and things. So $16.80. Jumping back to my workbook, we're going to type in $16.80. Shipping's included in that. So if this is an offsite ad order, like an order that came from Etsy's offsite ads, they're going to charge me a fee. If I make less than 10K a year, they're going to charge me 15%. If I make more than 10K a year, they're going to charge me 12%. So I'm going to choose according to what my current sales are for this year or for the previous 12 months. Worst case scenario, we're going to say we make less than 10K a year and pay that full 15%. And in that situation, I would make $5 off of this product. That's worst case scenario. If it's not an offsite ads, I'm actually going to make just under $10 for this product. So if it takes me approximately 5 to 10 minutes total to create this order and ship it out through, Canva to design it and Printify to create it, let's say it takes 10 minutes, being conservative here, I just made $10 in that 10 minutes time. So that's a pretty good profit. If I can do this, if I sit down and process orders for an hour, that's 6 orders that I can get done if they each take me 10 minutes. That's $60 an hour that I'm profiting, all said and done, on this product. That's pretty impressive. So this is definitely worth my time and energy to want to create and sell a product like this. And it is super, super simple, especially for a platform like Printify, where everything is very, very easy to navigate through. They make it super user friendly, and their manufacturers are constantly being audited and held up to certain standards. And I absolutely love that. That's one of the main reasons that I decided to team up with Printify, because I really do think that their service is above par compared to a lot of other websites. When I had my big, super busy print-on-demand shirt store, and I was processing $1,500 of sales a day. Anytime I had an order that was messed up, because sometimes problems happen, if I contacted Printify, it was not a problem to get that immediately fixed and shipped back out to my customer. And if it was a mistake on their end, they always covered that cost. It was so, so customer service oriented, and I loved it. So I do have a link below for Printify if you want to check that out. It's free to get started, and it is super, super awesome. Hopefully I gave you some fun ideas on new niches that you can get into, and I do have lots of other print-on-demand niches you can check out in this playlist.